Welcome to In the Crease with Ztending, presented by Goalies Matter. I'm your host, John Zdunkiewicz, and with me is born in Long Island, Drexel graduate, 2 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, family of 5, father to 3, husband to 1. We're not in Utah. Loutrel. OG Z-Tender before Z-Tending was even a thing. How are you, buddy? Awesome.
I am great, bud.
New Hampshire Z-Tending coach. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. I'm excited. I'm excited to get this pod going. I got one of my New England Wolves junior teams on one screen, the pod on another, and a college hockey game on a third. So I'm ready to roll.
Dude, we are live right now. We are rolling. I'm watching the NHL Network. The Devils just lost in a shootout to Buffalo.
Yep.
Jack Eichel, who scored the goal, just a magnificent goal, and then the goalies shut down the rest.
Oh, yeah, it was good.
Game. Man, in this episode, we have an interview with one of your New England Wolves goalies, LJ Newell. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, LJ Newell is a smart, hardworking kid, not just at goalie, but also in life. He's got some brains up top to go along with his amazing skills in goaltending.
It's very interesting. We bagged a couple of interviews today. We're working hard for this. This is actually, for most people who don't understand, this is the second season of this. I tried to do this by myself years ago to start a YouTube series, and it's a ton of work to do it by yourself. Now I went to school for video editing, and I can film editing, and I can do all the editing stuff and all the behind the scenes, but actually running it all by yourself, it's a lot of work, especially on what we're trying to cover. So speaking of which, our goals for this podcast is to enlighten everyone what it is to be a Z-Tender, what Z-Tending is about, and kind of just give them pretty much an eye into our world and what we see in the world of hockey.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great for all Z-Tenders to kind of hear from not only us, but from other Z-Tenders as well who have gone on to different areas of life.
So on top of the interview with LJ Newell of the New England Wolves, we are going to be doing a Apex video analysis of some stances and transitions into different stances, from your tall stance, a movement stance, shot ready stance. So there's a whole bunch of things we're going to be going on to this episode. So real quick, let's dive into the NHL world. Your favorite team is
Philadelphia Flyers,
as well as mine. I grew up in this area in the greater Philadelphia region. I was born in Philadelphia. You were born in Long Island. So thank God you were still a Flyers fan, not an Islanders fan. Which we are playing. Flyers are playing Islanders tonight at 7:00. This is not airing on Saturday, but we are filming on Saturday for those of you, and it should be a really good game. Going into NHL, we have one of the hardest divisions, and this is really neat how they're dividing everybody around. And the Canadian division is the wild, wild west. Oh my God, It's going crazy. There's lots of scoring. There's lots of scoring all over the place. But this is definitely going to be a fun season to watch. Definitely, because it is so different, and the NHL has done such a great job of adapting to their environment and really moving forward, making strong decisions, and going all in. So what are the things are you looking forward to this season in the NHL?
I think there's going to be some new rivalries created with the format that they have now. From the New England Wolves, we're only allowed to play certain teams, and they've had to reorganize divisions there, and it has created some wild games between the teams that we're playing consistently. So I can only imagine at the NHL level what new rivalry is going to come out of that when they're playing the same group of 8-9 teams over and over and over again for the next couple months.
Absolutely. So it's going to be so that's a great mention. So you coach New England Wolves in the EHL, the Eastern Hockey League, and I coach the ProTech Junior Ducks, also in the same league. We are in different divisions, and my team is struggling a little bit. We have a tough division with the 87s in there who just clinched playoffs. I think they're the first team that clinched playoffs.
Yep, they are the first. Yep.
And just rolling through everyone, and it's pretty. I mean, we play Team Maryland, who's up there as well. So we're kind of battling with all of that. I have 3 awesome goalies from all over the place. What are you have? How many goalies do you have for your elite team?
So we've got 6 total. We've got 3 for the EHL, 3 for the EHL Premier. So we've got quite a few.
Yeah. And fortunately, you have so my team only has an elite team. We don't have a premier team, and you have both. So you kind of, and not only just that, with New England Wolves, you guys have a youth system, your midget teams as well, and then from there you have the Lakers youth as well, breeding into the Wolves. So you guys have a little bit of a farm system that is developing there, and hopefully that's what we can get here at ProTech Ducks. So, hey, listen, we have an interview with LJ Newell. He's from Littleton, Colorado. I've had the pleasure of actually coaching another kid from Littleton, Colorado, that's now in South Carolina, another place that we run camps at as well. What are you looking forward to into our summer camp season, because we're all over the place? We go to South Carolina, we're in New Hampshire, we'll be in Connecticut, we're in Minnesota, and then of course our hometown area between Pennsylvania and New Jersey. What are you looking forward to in our summer camps?
I'm looking to kind of give all the Ztenders an outlet. I know there's probably a bunch of them that have kind of been, even with hockey still kind of cooped up a little bit, and with summer camp season coming around, they're going to be able to get out, see, you, me, Coach Forrest as well, and be able to get to Ztending camp and have a little fun while they're out in the ice.
So a little bit about Ztending before we get into our segments here. We started in 2005, and one of the reasons why we started Ztending was, and this is post-coaching you, Lou. Lou, I coached you in youth hockey growing up, and what was your initial thoughts and when I started coaching you? And do you remember when and where it was?
Oh, I don't remember when or where. I specifically remember you being at textbook goaltending camps, but I know we worked together at other points too, outside of that camp as well. And, one thing I remembered is kind of what you brought over to Ztending is, everything was live, love, learn hockey. Every time I went out there with you, we had fun. Passion for hockey was always there, and I could tell it was there with you, which made things great. And, I was always willing to learn from you. So and you created that environment for me. So I'm glad that carried over when you were able to create Ztending.
So, okay, you mentioned, and this is a great way to start the first episode of season 2 of In the Crease with Ztending. Textbook goaltending. My original goalie coach was Craig Fine. I shouldn't say my original goalie coach. So there was no coaches around here when I was growing up. And I used to go to Canada every summer, and I would go to Jim Park camp. And it was Jim Park Goalie School in Ontario at Westwood Arena. And it was called The Puck Stops Here. And I went there for 8 summers. And towards the end, my parents would leave me off and I would board there. And one of the best camps I've ever been to. I absolutely loved it. And then I ended up finding a goalie coach here. He's from New Brunswick, Ontario, Canada. Craig Finder. He went to Princeton University and he started textbook goaltending. He was like, you know what? Let's start a goalie school and we'll call it textbook goaltending, and kind of a whole homage to Princeton University. And he was one of my first local goalie coaches. I was one of two first goalies that he ever taught. The other went to play would be Dave Scardella. He played, I forget exactly where he played. He played D3 college and was one of Scardella is now a dentist, has his own practice, and the guy is amazing. So it's awesome to see from where we've come from and where we are now. So let's talk about Ztending a little bit. First off, one of the big things that we do at Ztending is we try and take everything is a numbers game in all aspects of life and definitely sports. Everyone wants to say, how many goals do you get? How many saves do you get? What's your save percentage? And I don't, or let's say from a professional standpoint, how many clientele do you have? I hate the word clientele. I don't call them clientele because I think it's a number thing. And everyone has their own identity. And I want to make sure that we pay homage to that and we make sure we respect that. So there's no such thing as clientele in our group here. It's Ztenders. And then there's the reason why we call them Ztenders is because we give them that sense of community. We also make sure that they have a place that they are, that they know that they can have fun, they can be themselves, that they are definitely loved and appreciated, which is very important. And sometimes it's bittersweet love, sometimes it's tough love, and sometimes it's, we have to pick the kids up and, pick them up and make sure that they know that, hey, listen, what's going on right now in your life is small potatoes. Let's move forward and let's focus on the here and now. So our motto you mentioned earlier is
live, love, learn hockey.
Yeah. Live, love, learn hockey. So our motto, live, love, learn hockey. Live, be in the moment. Okay. Cherish the people you're around. Be aware. Awareness is key. If you're aware what's going on, who's around you, and pretty much just anything you can find, just be observant. Take the blinders off. Not only just that, take what's inside your head, everything that you've learned, throw it away. Be a neutral person. Don't use your own thoughts against you, right? Be able to take the blinders off, be a neutral person, and be able to really take in everything that's around you, all the people, everything, anything. And that's super important. Being able to just be free and open and just be where you are right now and take it all in. And that's important, especially in the world that we're living in right now with the pandemic going. And we know, listen, it's not going to last forever. But who knows what's going to happen after that? We have to make sure that we are living in the moment and make sure that we are appreciative of everything and everyone around us, including we have to appreciate ourselves as well. All right. We can't just stop at appreciating our pets, our plants, and our family. We also have to appreciate ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. We only get one chance at life, so we've got to live it.
Yeah.
The
So
best we can.
Live, love, learn hockey. And our second is love, be passionate. Listen, all the things that we do, we have to be passionate. Why do it if you're not passionate about it? Make sure that you are putting all of you into everything you're doing. There's going to be times, okay, of course. Listen, how many times you've been out there and you're like, man, I'm just not feeling it right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, every so often I get like that. I mean, I was like that probably the other day at work too. So,
it doesn't matter if you're on the ice, off the ice, but you're going to go through these motions and it's going to happen. And so you just have to make sure, listen, this is a day. This is today. I'm going to get through this day and I'm going to make sure that I'm going to get the best of it. You know, listen. I got some punches to take.
Okay.
We're goal. Those of you who are goalies, we know. Listen, we're going to take some shots. We're going to take some punches. It's going to happen. Guess what? I'm going to make some saves. I'm going to bounce back. I'm going to battle. I'm going to throw a hostage roll, poke check at you. I'm going to throw whatever I can. Let's go. Let's move forward.
Absolutely. And you know, that makes us better people too, if we're able to live through that and then learn from it as well.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, let's further ado. Let's get into the interview. And it's with your New England Wolf goalie. You're the goalie coach. This was an incredible interview. We lucked out with. We have some incredibly smart Ztenders with incredibly high GPAs. And listen, he starts it off with a bang. Incredibly proud for you as a coach and my friend. This was awesome. You are so lucky to have this kid as your goalie.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely lucky to have him as goalie. He's got outstanding work ethic, and he loves the game. He loves life. He's a smart kid. We've said that a few times, but he'll talk about it a little more in the interview. But he's outstanding to have for me here, especially in New Hampshire and with the Wolves organization.
Awesome. All right, well, let's get to that interview.
Awesome. All righty. So we got. I'm really excited to have our next guest on. He's from Littleton, Colorado. He's played the past 2 years in the EHL for the New England Wolves. He's got a 3.50 goals against, a 9.05 save percentage. More importantly, he's got a GPA of 4.29. He's got 2 shutouts also in the past 2 years, and he's 2020 EHL All-Star. Welcome, LJ Newell.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on with us. How are you doing today?
Doing good. Just trying to stay warm.
Yeah, it's frigid up here.
Cold temperature.
I don't know how it is for Z in the
it's pretty
Mid-Atlantic.
We had a squirt game. I coach a squirt team. I told them no outdoor warm-ups today, so just come to the rink dressed.
Yeah, it's a little cold when we're warming up outside, right, LJ?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Alrighty, so most of the Z-tenders that are on here are from Mid-Atlantic, but we've got them all over the world. So why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your playing career.
Yeah, so like you mentioned, I'm from Littleton, Colorado, just outside of Denver there in the suburbs. So growing up there, I was just a big fan of the Avalanche, and being from Colorado, I love like skiing and snowshoeing and stuff. But when I started playing, I was playing roller hockey. That was just my parents were like, before we spend a lot of money, get into it, we want to make sure that you really like it. So I played roller hockey until I was 10, goalie the whole time. And roller was definitely like a different game. The movement's just so much different, a lot tougher to recover and make those rebound saves. So once I got to ice at the age 10, that was real nice. A little bit easier, and really enjoyed that. When I was younger, I really just played at kind of the lower levels of youth, just had fun, and got to play. That was what was important, was that I was playing. It wasn't the highest level, but it was a good time. And as I got older, I moved into high school hockey in Colorado, which is not quite the level of Massachusetts or Minnesota high school hockey, but still fun. Get to play in front of some bigger crowds. I get like the school band there and stuff, which was always fun. And then I ended up playing for a lower level junior team still in Colorado. My senior year, I had some options to go elsewhere, but decided to stay in Colorado, which is not a super popular decision with hockey players. A lot of guys, leave the house early to go play prep or juniors, or higher, tier 1 AAA or whatever it is. But I made that decision to stay home, and I don't regret that at all. Like, it allowed me to graduate from the high school that I had gone to for my whole life, and I don't regret that at all. Like, I definitely think that was the right choice for me.
Awesome. And
that's one of the things that I like to tell other people is like, hey, you do what you think is right for you. And for me, like, that was staying home. And then after that year, I got the opportunity to go up to Wenatchee, Washington, Play a little Tier 1 18 AAA up there, and got to practice with the British Columbia Hockey League team. Pretty high level junior, so I just kind of got to see what that was like, see the level that they were at and how they were preparing for games and stuff. And then I got the opportunity to come out here to New Hampshire and play for the New England Wolves, and I've been out here for the past 2 years, and it's been awesome.
Awesome. I think you touched on one thing I wanted to point out was you said when you were younger and started playing ice hockey, you played at lower levels and just to have fun. How important do you think that was in your development? As a goalie and as a player?
It was everything. If you're not having fun while you're playing, you're not going to want to keep going with it.
Absolutely.
I played, Squirt B and Pee Wee B, Pee Wee A. And, we would go out of state once. We'd go to one big tournament, and then we just play the other teams in state. And, it wasn't the highest level, but it was a ton of fun. I just enjoyed getting to go out there every day and play, and make new friends and just have a good time.
That's so important that you say that too, because as a Squirt coach, I coached AA, and they always the parents oh, he's going to play Tier 1 and next year she's going to play Tier 1 next year, and I'm just relax, keep playing in the AA Tier 2 level. Don't worry about moving up to Tier 1 right away. Make sure you have confidence on the ice at AA before you move up to AAA.
Yeah, for sure. I've had different coaches tell me, before you make that jump to the next level, you want to make sure that you're dominating at the level that you're at, that you're really, really comfortable with where you are.
Exactly. Yeah.
When you're younger, I think the biggest thing is just having fun. Just love the game,
Absolutely. I think that's a huge point. So this year up in Laconia, how's this season going for you?
It's been an interesting year, being limited in the teams we can play. Over half of my starts are against the same team, which has been tough. They're a pretty good team. They know me pretty well by now. They kind of know how they can beat me, so that's been a little bit of a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say also it's been tough. We've had basically 3 breaks. We had the whole month of October off pretty much. Then we had the Christmas break, and now recently we've had another little break here in quarantine. And that's just made it tough to find kind of that mid-season form, just because it's in and out of games constantly. So it's been tough to kind of get into that, just a mental challenge to kind of always get back into it and be ready to go. But despite that, it's been a good year. I felt I've been playing pretty well. The team's been playing well in front of me. We did get 2 wins against the Avs, which is the first time that Wolves have ever beaten them at the EHL level. So definitely excited about that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm with you almost every day of the week. So I get to see the progress throughout there. I know you've been playing well, but the team win-loss record, because you guys have been playing the same team over and over again, maybe isn't that great. So how do you stay positive in that area while you're playing really well? Your team's playing pretty well together as a team, but you're not getting, the good win-loss record that you guys are striving for.
Yeah, to me, there just has to be a balance between competitiveness and realistic expectations. With competitiveness, you have to have that desire to win, and you have to have a hatred of losing. If you're going to play the game, you just have to have those 2 things. You have to just want to win badly and be willing to do anything to get there. But with the expectations, as a goalie, we can't do everything. We can't score goals, We're limited in that aspect, and the fact that we only control one side of the ice. So yeah, you just gotta have to control what you can. I think that's just really important. And I guess one other thing that I kind of written down before this is you're not going to get a shutout every game. There are going to be goals that go in. You just got to figure out how to bounce back from that, not expect yourself to be perfect every game, but have that expectation that you're going to give the team a chance to win every time you're out there.
Absolutely. And that's huge. And I know we've talked a little bit about that when we've done our meetings together, LJ, and talked about, going out there, giving the team the win, giving the team a chance to win. And not expecting to be perfect 24/7, going out there, doing the best you possibly can, and giving the team a chance to win every single game, and controlling the things that you can control, which are great points that you bring up.
Yeah, and I guess the one kind of quote that I'll refer to on that one is from Winston Churchill, right? So he's the leader of England during World War II, trying to motivate and rally his people. And he said, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." And so that's kind of what I go by every game. If we're succeeding in that first period, if we have a good period, game's still not over. We still got 2 more periods that we gotta keep battling and keep doing our job. You get scored on, maybe it's a bad goal, you give up a bad one, you're still in there. You still got a chance to keep playing, keep fighting for that. So yeah, it doesn't matter what's really going on out there. As the goalie, it's your job to keep fighting and keep trying to give that team your chance to come back and stay in that game.
Absolutely. That's an awesome mindset to have, and to keep your head in the right place during especially this season where it's tough. You're playing the same team over again, and it just kind of gets monotonous throughout the season.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So, on top of you playing well this season, you, I guess yesterday kind of made a big announcement. What was that big announcement?
Yeah, I made my commitment to Riviera University in Nashua next year. Super excited about that. Really like Coach Sorensen there. He's a former goalie. So I've built a pretty good relationship with him so far, and excited to go be a part of that program and kind of get to start that. Get to play college hockey. That's been a dream for a long time. So really excited to get to be a part of that.
Absolutely. And what's some of the things you like about the program there that made the choice for you?
Yeah. For me, a big thing was going to be the academics. It can't just be about the hockey. It's got to be about the schooling too. So I'm going to be a nursing major, and they had one of the top ranked programs in New England. I believe it was number 11 out of all the nursing schools in New England. So that was definitely a big draw, just to go somewhere that was definitely well respected academically. And with them being a newer program, there is a lot of opportunity to play and to get to be a part of kind of the founding of something. That was definitely appealing. Just kind of getting to be a part of that process, something that's brand new, was exciting. Definitely something I wanted to be a part of.
Absolutely. It sounds like a great opportunity for you. I'm glad, academics was a big decision for you as well. I know some kids get focused so much on the hockey that they forget that that's also a part of, the college hockey experience as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So we've got a lot of a mixed bag of Z-tenders. We got some that are pro, some that are your age and juniors transitioning into college hockey. We've also got a lot that are squirt level, mite level, peewee level. What advice do you have for some of those Z-tenders that are younger, but they're looking to achieve their goals of playing maybe junior or college hockey in the future?
Yeah, so I kind of broke it down into 3 things. I said the first thing is you just got to love the game. It just should be, you should be happy to be on the ice every time you're out there. And then the second that I wrote down is work hard. If you're not willing to put in that work and that effort, you're not going to be able to reach that next level. I know that's something that's just been true for me, is I never played at the highest level, but I was always willing to go out and put that effort and work in to try and make that next jump. And then the last thing I put down, which in my opinion is kind of the most important, is never stop learning. Even once you get older and you think you kind of know more about goaltending, there's still always plenty of people that know more about it than you. I've got goalie coaches back home. I've got you guys out here. You guys got different philosophies, different things that you all kind of bring to the table. And one of my favorite things is just getting to kind of learn and see what new tools I can add to that, to my game, and to how I can improve by thinking about those things and applying them. and that doesn't mean that every coach is going to tell you something that's perfect. But there's always something to be learned from it. So yeah, just never stop learning. Always be willing to hear someone out and think about your game in a critical way.
I love that. You basically just explained our motto at Ztending, which is live, love, learn hockey.
Yeah.
Live, be in the moment, love, be passionate, and always keep the brain turned on. That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, it's great philosophy to give anybody, and it's Z-tenders have heard me say before, you can control your attitude and your effort. So if you love the game, you got a good attitude, you're going out there, like you said, putting out 100% every time you're out there, good things are going to come.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, LJ. Well, I appreciate you coming on, and I'm going to see you the rest of the season here, so I'll be working with you and seeing you almost every day. But I know Coach C's probably going to wish you the best of luck here in the rest of the season, and all the other Z-tenders out there are doing the same. So
yeah,
thanks for hopping on with us.
With everything going down, that normally I'd be up there at least twice, and so that's kind of robbing me of that opportunity. So good luck, man. We really appreciate you coming on here, and good luck the rest of the season, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. Pleasure.
No problem, LJ. Thanks for coming on.
Man, that was an awesome interview. Listen, LJ, smart kid, 4.29 GPA. Are you kidding me?
That is crazy.
And he's going to be going to school in Riviera for nursing. Where's Riviera again?
It is in Nashville, New Hampshire. So he's going to be staying in the New Hampshire area. So I'm lucky enough to be able to follow him and watch his college career as well. So
that's
I'm
great.
Excited for that.
How far is that from you?
It's not far. It's about a half hour.
Are you going to be able to coach him in college too?
I'm hoping.
Man,
we'll see.
Great. So listen, I'm super bummed. I mentioned this in the interview is that with this pandemic, so I wasn't able, I got to meet him a little bit last year and it was real quick, but I wasn't really able to spend any time with him on the ice. And this year we were going to set things up and we're going to do our clinic. And with the pandemic, we weren't able to, and it definitely stinks. So I definitely think it's I'm definitely excited because then hopefully I get the opportunity to get on the ice with him as well. And then you get to continue on your training with him because he is from Littleton, Colorado, and then you're going to get a couple more years with him at least for sure. Because I know even if he does have a goalie coach at his school, he'll be close enough where he's going to come and get some lessons with you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I hope so. And I'm looking forward to it.
So, hey, listen, one of our goals for this podcast is to highlight our Z-tenders, some of our OG Z-tenders, and then also some of our current Z-tenders as well. But we really want to give you a perspective of what Z-tending is about from different views from our coaches or our Z-tenders. We're also going to get we'll have some high-profile interviews as well, but it's not all about them. It's more about our Z-tenders and what their perspective is, what their journey is, and how they get through, their life is in their journey and their process of, and how it's all different from each other. So right now, let's get into our next segment. We're going to do a Apex video analysis, and we're going to talk about the different stances between a tall stance, a movement stance, and then also a shot ready stance, and the transitions between them. And we're going to go here. We're using the Apex video analysis. And if you want to get your video analyzed and featured on our podcast, email info@Ztending. It'll be down here at the link here. And email us and get on our Apex video analysis app so that way you can be featured on our podcast. Let's take it to the Apex video analysis podcast now.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the Apex video analysis. In net, we have Z-tender Steve Glick. I want to talk about different stances and transitioning into them. So right now, let's say the puck is around the perimeter, around the blue line, above the top of the circles. And it could be a PK situation, it could be even strength, but there's players in front of you. You're trying to find the sight lines. One major important thing is to make sure that we are keeping our gloves together in line. It's okay for the stick to be above the ice and leaving a 5-hole open because it's not a shot-ready situation. But I want to make sure that we keep these gloves together so that way when we do sit, they move together as well. So we're looking around, look around. Once they start moving in a little bit, we see that we have to move. We get into our movement stance. Now from a tall stance to a movement stance, notice that the feet don't move any wider. Okay, we're keeping them nice and narrow so that way we can stay tight, right? Making our movements nice and easy to go either way. Bringing the hands. Again, keeping the hands nice and together. Once we get into a shot ready, a little bit more imminent situation where they're getting tighter, we get a little bit more aggressive. We don't necessarily need to go as far wide as Glick is going. One thing we want to make sure that is we don't want our knees to be caving in too much. We want to keep our legs in line. So that way we're not having too much inward bend in our knees, but also maintaining good glove projection and keeping that stick in the middle. So again, let's take a look at this. Tall stance, movement stance, and shot ready stance. Coach Lou, what are your main core aspects when teaching the different stances and transitions in and out of?
Well, actually, I wanted to bring up one point that I've actually been working with one of my Wolves goalies on is as Steve transitions through each of the three stances here, if you notice his upper body does not cave down, right? So he's tall there, he's in a movement stance, and then he's in a low ready stance. He's not bringing that chest down, making himself smaller and giving area in the upper part of the net.
Yes, very important. So now that's huge. One of our main key components of this season for Ztending is quiet upper body. Now, with a quiet upper body, we want very minimal movement, if any at all. So that way we can let the legs down do all the work. When the upper body is moving all over the place, going swaying left or right, or maybe just going way too far down and leaning our chest over, then that's when we get in trouble. And then we make it much harder for our feet to do its work. It might throw us on our toes or heels, flat-footed. Again, making sure that we have a good ankle, knee, and hip flexion. So that way we can get our chest over our knees. So that way when we do drop down into our butterfly, we have a nice, good, solid foundation. Any last key notes or points, Coach Lou?
Nope, just reiterating what you said. And when you're getting down into that save stance, not getting too wide, you still want to be able to use your edges if you need to use them as well.
Very good. Thank you very much, guys. This has been our Apex video analysis. If you want to get analysis in, email us at info@Ztending and we can get you rolling and you can get analyzed by our expert coaches. All right, and that's our Apex video analysis. Man, transitioning from stances is so important. Being able to have good set edges and being able to have a quiet upper body. Keep note that the girth between the hands, and it's so important.
Absolutely is. I mean, the more you can master those transitions, the better you're going to be set for the shots when they come in at any point during the game.
I think sometimes half the battle I see is within the player's stance. Their movement stance is maybe too wide and they're getting flat-footed and not getting ready to be able to set for the shot. And then when they get too wide, they're normally dropping down into their butterfly way too early, and it's making it much more work. So if we can stay in a narrower stance, it's going to help us big time.
Absolutely. We all can't be Noahs and have super wide stances.
Noah Stock has got the widest Ztending stance out there. And for those of you that don't know, Noah Stock is one of our OG Ztenders. Oh, man. So, listen, NHL is going nuts right now. Again, this is Saturday. We're going to be airing this on Monday. There's so many games on right now. Devils lost to a very talented Buffalo team in a shootout. We have Islanders and Flyers. I know you're a Flyers fan. You were born in Long Island. What do you – I mean, numbers wise, Flyers have the upper hand, but Islanders are a gritty team. What do you think is going to happen tonight's game?
I think it's going to be a good game. I'm hoping the Flyers come out on top tonight. Hopefully Carter Hart gets the nod in net, and he plays pretty well. But I know that my father is a diehard Islanders fan, has been his whole life, so I'm sure I'm going to be getting some text chirps during the game from him in his old man chirp language. So
definitely not. It wouldn't do well in the current junior chirp levels, would it?
No, it definitely would not. He's not running around, going wheel snipe Sally on everything. So it's.
So I got a really good question. We are going on Insta Live. Every time we record this episode, I'm going to go live on Insta. And if hopefully I can catch your comments. And we have a great one from one of our Z-tenders at Groiny Senders, Zach. Beautiful stance. This kid gets in a very good low crouch. He bends his knees so well. He keeps his gloves symmetrical. His stance is picture perfect in my mind. He's working on his footwork. He had a great question. How do I get better at making saves on breakaways and or a shootout? As we saw the shootout with Wedgwood and Linus Ullmark, they did a great job of being patient, staying on your feet as long as you can. And that's so important because the whole entire goal of the player coming down on you is to make you move how they want you to move, right? They're going to make a fake and make you move and get you to go down or move left or right and go the other way. So the important thing is to try and stay neutral in your crease, get a little bit of momentum so that way you can attack with a good butterfly slide in the Y angle, and make sure that you're not taking the bait. But also, you're not down and out. If you take the bait, that's okay. Move with it. Stay with it. Always improve your position.
That's why we do battle drills and do Hasek rolls and do all that stuff. Never give up on the shot, even if you went one way and come back. How many scorpion saves have we seen?
Oh, man.
In the NHL. It's crazy.
Never give up attitude. It's so important. So important. Because if you have a never give up attitude, it doesn't matter. Listen, your head coach, I guarantee you, 98% of head coaches never played a day of goalie in their life, on the ice at least, maybe street hockey, but they never played a day of goalie and they don't really understand goaltending. So at the end of the day, all they care about is making a save. So sometimes it doesn't have to be pretty. But sometimes it might be a behind the back Vasilevsky save or a scorpion throw your toe up save. It doesn't matter as long as you make the save and you keep it out. But the main part that's going to help you the most is be patient, stay on your feet, don't go down too early. Make sure that you're reading the stick and everything around you, and then make sure you are in a very good, strong, low center of gravity stance, keeping your hips low, but weight on the balls, your feet. Hands projected all the time, chin tucked, ready to go.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better.
On that one. I think I nailed that one.
I think you did.
So, hey, listen. What a great episode. We got to talk to New England Wolf, LJ Newell, incredibly smart kid, going to Riviera College, going to play hockey, studying nursing. And listen, that was such an easy interview.
It was.
Literally, I could have just walked away and let him take it, but it was just so much fun listening to him talk. What a great kid.
Absolutely. He loves goaltending and is always willing to talk about it. So it's awesome to have him as the first interview.
Oh, it's, what a great start, and we have many more to come. This has been a long time coming, and I'm so excited for you Z-tenders to watch and keep up with everything that's going on with Z-tending and keep up with all these Z-tenders and learn their journey. That's so important because there's so many different journeys in hockey. There's our first two interviews, both goalies kind of started late a little bit and were sort of behind the ball, but didn't really get into tier one right away. And it really shines a light that you don't have to be a tier 1 player now. You don't.
Absolutely.
Listen, gain confidence in your game, play tier 2 hockey. It's not the end all be all. You can still have a career. I played tier 2 hockey. I played D1 hockey. I played pro hockey. Listen, I played it all. Not really. But as far as I could, I listen, tier 2 hockey is not an end all be all. And everybody thinks, I need to be tier 1 now. I need to go to the top now. The grass is greener way over there and not here. Guess what? The grass is green here, and it's just as green and beautiful smelling as the grass over there at tier 1. And probably with a lot less stress and a little bit more fun. So, listen,
Absolutely.
You pick what you want to be at. It's definitely eye-opening, and I hope to get into parents' minds a little bit more with this and talking about tier 2 hockey and why it is so much more beneficial than tier 1 hockey, especially all the way up to your Pee Wee Bantam years. And it's the puck touches, the confidence, the amount of stress that is induced in the tier 1 hockey could be tough. And if you're inducing that much stress into a young kid, guess what they're going to have to deal with for the rest of their career as a youth hockey player? Come on now.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's just so tough.
It is. And I think in LJ's interview, he said it best. He learned to love the game when he was younger in those in-house leagues and lower level leagues. So when he's going through right now where he's, his team maybe doesn't have the best win-loss record, he still loves the game of hockey. It's tough. Hockey's hard. Goaltending's hard, but he works through it, and because he loves it.
Absolutely. Listen, hockey's hard. Life's hard. Battle through it. Persevere. Live, love, learn hockey. Thank you all for joining our podcast. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the like button. It means a lot. We are going to provide this weekly as best as we can. I appreciate all of you. Thank you, Lou, for joining us, my co-host, and I can't wait to continue this on. Please stay with us. We're going to have so much fun giving you this podcast and what it is to be a Ztender in the Ztending life. Thank you, guys, and live, love, learn hockey.
Have a good one. See you next week, guys.